You spoke on Tuesday about goodness, but I'm still not quite clear about whether the quality of goodness or evil is an outside agency or forces existing in the world, or only a projection of our own thinking. You spoke on Tuesday about goodness, but I am still not quite clear about whether the quality of goodness or evil is an outside agency or force existing in the world, or only a projection of our own thinking. Like the question clear? The questioner, as we understand it, wants to know, is goodness and evil something outside, nothing to do ourselves, but putting ourselves aside, does this goodness exist in the air, as it were, and the evil outside? Is it totally independent of our human beings? You understand? This is what the questioner is asking, if we understand it rightly. There have been wars. Sorry to talk about wars. There have been wars for thousands upon thousands of years. There have been killing of human beings by the million. And that killing has created immense sorrow. Is that sorrow outside? Separated from us? We have our own sorrow, our own pain, our own anxiety, our own sense of goodness and badness, or if you like to use the word evil. Apart from that, does evil and goodness exist? Exist. Do you understand? What do you think? As the questioner asks, is it our projection, our prejudice, our sense of the good and the bad? Or is there evil something separate altogether from human endeavor, human existence? It's a very serious question. This is not just a flippant question. People have talked about goodness for years. Aristotle, I believe, talked about it, Plato. And before Aristotle, Plato, there was the ancient Hindus. And before them, there was somebody else talking about, inquiring. The same thing as we're doing now. The evil that man has created, the goodness that man has pursued, the ideals and the conformity, and something that exists outside of us. There are people in the world, like the terrorists, like the imperialists, the great conquerors of the world, from Genghis Khan, Napoleon, all the rest of it. They wanted power. Power by hoping to unify Europe. The Church, the Catholic Church, has hoped to unify all Europe by dogma, rituals, belief, torture, and all the rest of it. Wars. And those exist still, that feeling. Right? How do you object to that? And there have been great many people who pursued goodness. Not people who didn't know them. They were not famous people. They were people who said, I live a good life. Not the good life in the modern world with good meals and good drinks and all the rest of it. But the good life of austerity, not just putting on a loincloth or one robe. Austerity is something entirely different. And they have pursued that. And the building of that goodness, though those people have died and gone, must exist. Haven't you found when you enter a house, strange house, the atmosphere of it? No? One can feel there have been quarrels in the house. There have been violence. There have been perpetual conflict in that house. One can feel it. So he's outside. Right? Do you object to that? So there is goodness and that which is called evil or bad exists in the world apart from our own contribution to it. And one can become highly sensitive to all that and put an end to our own conflicts, divisions, holding on to opinions and saying my opinion is a fact, and the regular process of holding on to something and battling for it. All this requires a very careful observation, perception of oneself, perception of one's own activities, behavior. Either one contributes to goodness or to the so-called that which is bad.